Hey guys, another video from the old Japanese farmhouse. Some of you guys are familiar with this saga. After the developer next door cut up the concrete and put down this little wall, he had one of his people shovel a few hundred kilos of construction rubbish, basically pieces of concrete and brick and dirt, sand, all sorts of rubbish over our side of this wall. So we sort of waited a while to see if they're going to do something better with it. It seemed they weren't. We didn't want to fight with them about it. It's just not worth it. So probably if we had, they probably wouldn't have done much of a better job of it anyway. So just got the unskilled concreter to spend about 6 hours digging up all the rubbish that they'd thrown on this side and tidying it up a bit. Also cutting off some bamboo roots and some other things. So the first few bucket loads actually took around and put around the back of our house, and then thought, no, we won't do that. We'll return this stuff to where it came from. There you go. It's fair enough, isn't it? That's where it came from. It came from that side of the wall. So after dropping a few buckets behind the old farmhouse, I thought, no, we won't do that. We'll return this to where it came from. But yeah, it was 34-degree day, 75% humidity, which is pretty full on, isn't it? It was hard work, and couldn't use a bigger shovel because it's sort of, there's a gap between the wall and where we're digging, so it was only a narrow space, and sort of wanted to get down a bit deep so that when we did concrete it, the concrete would be fairly substantial. And then got the hose onto it to sort of clean it up, get it ready for concreting. As you can see, there's been a bit going on next door. We'll show you that in another video. So cleaned it all up. What a mess, isn't it? It's shocking. But now it's cleaned up, it's ready for some concrete. So how much concrete do you think we're going to need to fill that space, guys? What would you estimate? So the unskilled concreter estimated about 220 kilo. 220 kilo of concrete, that's 11 bags, 11 20-kilogram bags. Doesn't include the weight of the water, of course. So bought 11 20-kilogram bags and then hand mixed them one at a time in this little box. So could have rented a mixer and gone to all that expense as well, but just don't have the money basically. So this is obviously a much harder work and more time consuming, but cheaper, so we went with that plan. So the unskilled concreter spent about probably 10 hours in total, probably, mixing it by hand and laying it in. See the old lawnmower there, guys, that we converted to a sort of a wheelbarrow thing to move heavy things around, so you could load 5 20-kilogram bags onto that and then just bring it over to where it was going to be used. Speaking of which, how many kilos did you estimate that we're going to use? So the unskilled concreter estimated 220 kilograms, ended up using 400 kilograms of concrete and probably another 100 kilograms of water, all mixed by hand in 34-degree heat, 75% humidity. It was lots of fun. So up to a before and after already, guys. This is what it looked like before, after the professionals had finished with it. That's what they left it looking like. The professional builders left it looking like that. Shocking, isn't it? I mean, that's pretty poor work for professionals, isn't it? So we'll compare that with what it looks like after the amateur worked on it, the unskilled labourer. So obviously it's still a different colour now. We've been wetting it down because it's so hot, don't want it to dry too quickly in case it cracks. So it'll end up white or grey in the end, so it'll sort of blend in a little bit better. It's still reasonably fresh at the moment, so still a bit dark. But isn't that better? So now I don't have to worry about little pebbles and stones and sand and rubbish blowing around all over the place. Bit more tidy. And again, it's not perfect. You've got to balance it out. You know, it's an old farmhouse. You don't want to try and make it look new or spend any more than that. Cost 120 bucks. That was enough. Didn't want to spend any more than that. Anyway, it's done and we're very happy with it. More videos coming soon.